Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Ahhhhh Design. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you. If you are a subscriber and a regular viewer, thank you. This video is going to be short. It's so simple it almost doesn't warrant doing, but I wanted to take the opportunity for those of you who have been following the exploits of Harvest 2023, just to let you know that early this morning, and I'm taping this on, what day is it? This is Friday, September 29th. Early this morning, like 4 a.m., we finished combining. Woo! And believe it or not, despite a couple trips to the bathroom during the night, I slept until 3 p.m. Like, I don't think I ever slept in that long when I was a teenager. And you know what teenagers, how much sleep they need. So I just wanted to let you know, for those of you who continue to express concern about my combine, yes, we limped through, we got it done, and we beat the rain. So thank you for your concern. And for those of you that are farm people, you know what it's been like. For those of you who aren't, I appreciate your willingness to kind of learn and empathize with the farming lifestyle. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, so you'll probably guess from looking at this that I'm still working on what began as a tree journal and morphed into 4 tree journals. So, I think this project, again, very, very simple, satisfies a few, or ticks a few boxes. I started out using book pages, specifically small dictionary pages, because, of course, you know, who isn't drowning in book pages? And I pulled out a variety of stamps. I think I showed those in an earlier video. And then I thought, okay, fine, now what? So I also had a number of these sort of, now I don't know what, they're not chipboard. They are thicker than, obviously, paper. They're probably, I guess they're thicker than cardstock too. So I had them on this ring, and, you know, these colors are, you know, probably not my first choice, but of course it was a thrifted item, so yada, yada, yada. You know how that goes. So I thought, okay, why don't I begin combining these two things? So I'll show you the ones I've done so far. Oh, I just had this magazine here to have a little more cushier spot for my stamping. And again, I've said it before, I didn't drink the scrapbooking Kool-Aid. So, you know, I don't know all, I'm learning the hard way, all those lessons that you scrapbookers, card makers, have known for probably decades already. So this is what I've got so far. And I think they're pretty darn cute. Now this one, I didn't trim the corners before I glued it down. So I have to neaten this up, and I'll probably just use an emery board to get into the, or maybe this will work, to get into the, you know, the little curve there. But as you can see, I've got a whole slug more. So initially, as I said, I was doing this on book page, and I didn't bother adding, you know, acetate or plastic or any sort of a protection, because I thought, well, you know, if we glue something down on our page, we don't seal everything that we do. So why would I need to do that? So let's just carry on. So then I looked through some of my dyed paper, copy dyed papers, And I mean, this is a really fine grid, as you can see. And this is essentially all I did. I spread out my stamps and then basically use this like a viewfinder to see, you know, what can fit where. I love this stamp. I think, do I have it here? Let's see. It's an old wooden one. Of course, I'm sure I bought it secondhand. It's a Stampin' Up. Love it. This one is also a Stampin' Up. Whoops, sorry. Didn't mean to clunk them together like that. And then I have a variety of others Stampin' Up. What is this one? Stamp Craft. Don't think it's as good, to be honest, but anyway. And I also even have these El Cheapo ones. You know, these kind. So anyway, obviously the bigger ones don't lend themselves as well to these small frames. So, and you can see that despite me cleaning them with, now this wasn't cleaned after I used it most recently, but I just used a wet wipe. And because I had to take a toothbrush out of circulation, look at that, I thought this would be handy to have around to get into some of the nooks and crannies. Don't know if that's a legitimate, stamp cleaning tool or not. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So of course I would then, cut these out. Now, I'm thinking that they could be used anywhere in the journal as, you know, decorations or even to be tucked into pockets or whatever because they're so darn cute. Okay, so I did this on grid and then I thought, well, I've got this paper and I looked a little harder at my stamps. You don't need to actually see it, I don't think. This is one of those... Do you like how I cut this so nice and straight? This is one of those... I don't even know if that's still available, to be honest. I don't think I've seen them lately. You know, sometimes in the magazine stand, like even at Walmart, you see those stamp what is it called? I don't remember what it's called. Anyway, it's a kind of an oversized magazine and it's pretty pricey, but in it you get this full page of stamps. Now these, obviously, this was a good one that I went for, and this is, you're seeing only half of it because it had a fox and you know, an owl and leaves, and look at those cute tracks. Are those not the best? Anyway, so I used that. I also use, whoopsie. Is this the rest of it maybe? No, this is from a different one. This is like a harvest rural one. But I also used, some stamps, Stampers Anonymous. This is Yuletide Gatherings, but of course, a pine cone and boughs and so on. You know, that's not a season. That's not a Christmas thing. I also had some of these. I don't think I used any of those. Anyway, it's a material. You use what you have. Okay, so I did some oak leaves, and then I thought, oh, wouldn't this be cool just to have this like a border? So I'm thinking that I will probably just, you know, sort of this is probably wider than it needed to be. I should have made it about as wide as that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I intend, now this would be longer than, so 10, this is, well, obviously it's 11 and a half. So this may get cut into 2 pieces. So that's a thing that I can use as a page decoration. And I used this one for the first time, which is new. Now, of course, it's too big for even the biggest of these frames. Although I suppose if I wanted to, I could sort of isolate the... Probably not. So these will be used in some format or another. That's kind of poor stamping, isn't it? So there's that and that. And then finally, I, again, was looking through my papers, and this is like, I don't know, it's just some sort of paper that has kind of this mottled looking thing at the back with some gray and some kind of sepia colors. So here's where I use this, and I use some of these little guys, some of the Tim Holtz ones, and so I can demo on these, you know, how I may choose to use them. Now with this particular one, what I did here with this tiny acorn is I offset it thinking that this could be a page tab. So likewise with this. Now, if I did it this way, then that would have to be a, you know, probably one that sticks out at the top of the page. Or I could do that as well. Anyway, it's just a matter of sort of, it's almost like doing a puzzle or something. You find the piece that works the best. And then you find, oh, I stamped them too close together. Whoa. Wonder how long. No, this is a bad one. Can you tell I stamped it twice because I didn't like the result I got the first time? Now, I suppose, see, and I don't know. Again, I don't feel that these journals need to be all gussied up because they're natural. They're like, when I think nature, I don't think lace and rhinestones and stuff like that. So I don't feel the need to go all over the top with that, with sort of that kind of decoration. Anyway, so it's just a matter of trying to figure out what works best in terms of, oh, see, that's kind of too close too. Clearly, I wasn't thinking very straight when I did this. Oh, I should try doing these guys at the top also. And again, it doesn't matter if the design, you know, bleeds off underneath the frame because our eye and our brain fills in the gap. See, these are kind of all pretty poor looking. And I think that I'm going to, when all is said and done, going to get brutal and go through my stamps, try them all out, and the ones that are less than optimum, just get rid of them. Like, why in the world am I keeping stuff that... Let me start gluing down the ones that work because this will be a never-ending thing here. So I just basically used art glitter glue. Did a, you know, tiny bead of glue. Oh, you know, the other day, like I've said this to many of you in my replies to your comments, that, you know, I feel bad that I've fallen behind in my viewing, video viewing, and in my commenting. I have been stealing moments here and there to reply to you because I didn't want to get behind. I didn't want you to feel that your comments are falling on deaf ears. And also, I where was I going with this? Oh my God, brain freeze. I would say brain fart, but you know that might not be appropriate on YouTube. I don't know what I was saying. Maybe it'll come back to me. Now this has a little, crease in the frame, but I feel like I can, I could put something there. A little tiny label or, who knows, a piece of burlap or something. That must have been vitally important, the thing that I just forgot. Maybe since I have space, I should use a bigger one of these. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I know, art glitter glue. Oh, so I stole some time. I was watching some videos, and I saw a woman using art glitter glue without this, fine nozzle, or whatever you call it, attachment thingamajigger. I could not believe the amount of glue that she was using. Now, it must have been effective, but I'm thinking, holy cow, that would be an expensive proposition to use that much glue when we know that there's such excellent hold. So I don't know if she didn't know that the nozzles exist or just chose to, obviously it's a free country. People can do whatever they wish. Well, that would be cute. So you can see I'm trying my best to make this fit. I don't know, some of you maybe watched, maybe this would be better there. Some of you who have watched a lot of my videos may have heard me say that in past videos that my mom and dad ran a bakery for the longest time. And this was back in the day when you started out with your basic ingredients, flour, sugar, salt, and that's how you made bread. You didn't thaw out some frozen dough and slap it in a bread pan. So that was unique in itself. My dad had been, he couldn't, I gather he couldn't pass the physical for the Army because he had some fingers missing and because he had flat feet. Now, I, of course, discovered later in life that I do have flat feet and plantar fasciitis. Thanks, Dad. Anyway, that is enough to disqualify a person from, active duty, which, of course, would have been a blessing. But, so he was an Army cook. So, obviously came sort of by that food prep kind of thing, kind of was in the genes or whatever. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, bakery. So of course they also made, donuts and like deep fried pastry. I know, evil. But also, baked, goods as well. So the thing is, when you roll out, and none of this took, like I'm not a cook, I'm not a baker, although I definitely worked in the family business. Anyway, so if you roll out all this dough, and the same thing would be if you were doing pies or whatever, you want to cut your donuts. Of course, you have this stainless steel cutter. And again, I'm sure things have modernized, but back in the day, it was a handheld cutter. And you figured out how to make the most of your dough. you didn't do one here and another one here and another one here, because all that, the scrap pieces, the uncut pieces would then be, you know, re-rolled. And you don't want to do that more than you have to, because of course the dough would toughen. Anyway, so I always think when I'm doing things like this, you know, I'm cutting out donuts. So, but of course, that can be false economy if you put things too close together and you can't get 2 donuts there. Or one of your donuts would be, you know, missing a side. So, long convoluted story to say, think hard about how you lay this stuff out. And I'm going to stop. Where's my pin? Where's my pin? I'm going to stop there because clearly you don't need to see me do this. You get the point. You're all very smart cookies. So I'm just going to roughly cut around this, fine tune my cutting off camera, and call this a done video. Now, any dough that I have left here will be used for, you know, teeny tiny little stamps like this, or these. Where's that acorn one? Somewhere here. So, you know, none of this paper will get wasted. I just feel bad that, you know, sometimes I misjudged how close. No, I was going to say I could have laid the frames down first, but of course that wouldn't work because then I couldn't stamp. So pretend you never heard that brilliant idea. And again, even these poorly stamped ones could be, you know, part of collage or something. Because, you know, we can't throw anything away in this world. So that is all I think I wanted to say today. So again, this is just a quickie reminder to say that harvest is done. We're grateful for the blessed weather that we had. It did rain, so we just beat that by the skin of our teeth. And I continue to work mostly behind the scenes on these tree journals. Still have 2 cover decorations to figure out. But I certainly hope that one of these days I get this done, because I'm just about all treed out, I have to say. So I would wish you a good day and a crafty day. I see I still have more of these to use, so I think I've said it gives me an inordinate amount of pleasure to use something up and say, okay, those are done. Never have to do that again. So I will probably keep trying to use up these last few of these little frames. With 4 journals and so many pages, it shouldn't be that difficult. Oh, I also have these stamps that I've never used. These are those really El Cheapo ones that I think maybe were intended for children, but hey, who's not a kid at heart? Anyway, thanks, guys. We will see you in the next one, and stay well until then. Bye.